Welcome back, Real Chip TV. This edition is going to be the Battle of NovaCare series, where we're going to be breaking down all the position battles heading into training camp and during training camp. This team, you got 53 guys fighting for a roster spot, and there is a lot of starting positions that are wide open. I'm your host, Stephen Hellman, here with Tom Oreska. Tom, this is exciting stuff. I mean, we have so many good battles. Not too many things are clear cut about who's going to be starting and who's not going to be. First, we're going to talk about really what's going on, like what's hot right now. And something today that was said is Darrelle Revis said the Jets got close to winning a Super Bowl 2 years in a row without a quarterback.
That's a burn.
That is a burn. He further went on to say that Sanchez was solid but not elite, but not a quarterback. Whew. What do you think about that?
I saw two reporters on Twitter, and they were talking about, it's not a story because nobody disagreed with that. So,
true.
I think that was my knock on that Jets team all the time. And Sanchez was solid. He was a game manager. When you got him in good field position and when you block for him, you have the run game rolling, you have the defense playing lights out. Yeah. He was hitting his shot. He was hitting his shots downfield. He was hitting guys on slants. He was, doing everything, controlling the middle of the field. They designed a good system for him. But once things got hot and heavy in the trenches, and he had to, stand in the kitchen with the big boys, he just couldn't get it done. And and that's what Revis was saying there. And he'll see with Geno Smith this year. I don't know if it's going to be any better.
Yeah, so, that is true.
So might have some problems there, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean that team to me was that defense was the Jets team when they were good. When they beat the Patriots, it was the defense.
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely. Right.
But speaking of Sanchez, he is. It seems like he's taking a bigger role with the team. He went to Zach Ertz camp, so they were out there for a few days and stuff, and they were all working together. So it seems like he's taking this seriously because he knows that Bradford, that ACL goes down. Like
he's no guarantee.
He's in. So I mean, he could. He's playing he wants to start, I'm sure, somewhere.
And
whether
for
it's
a
here,
contract as well.
Exactly. So whether it's here or somewhere else, he's got a lot to prove. Much like Sam Bradford, who is going to be sitting tight on his contract negotiations. They're going to work it out at the end of the year. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good play for both sides. I've said it all along ever since we got him. I've thought he's been saying all the right things, doing all the right things to get back, and I think that it's an obvious move for both sides to wait it out, see how he plays. It wouldn't make any sense to give him a bunch of guaranteed money right now because you don't know his future. You don't know how he's going to play. You don't know if he's going to stay healthy. So we'll see what happens, but I think it's a great move for both sides.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna, it takes the risk off of us, but it's gonna motivate him to be the best he can be and not get distracted by it. I mean, if he's basically writing his own contract. He plays well, he can he can add that extra zero at the end of his contract. So now we're gonna head into the battlefield. The topics that we're gonna be talking about for this QB edition. The first question I have for you is, does Mark Sanchez have a shot at the starting job? Do you think he has a shot?
I do not. I think that they invested a lot in Sam Bradford. I think to bring him here to give up, a second rounder and Nick Foles, and that might not be too much, to give up. But if you wanted Sanchez to be your starting quarterback, this is my biggest point: is that you wouldn't have traded for another quarterback. Yeah. If you want Sanchez as your starter, you trade Nick Foles and you go and prove something else. You trade him for a draft pick. Or, there's plenty of teams. The Rams were obviously very interested. You didn't need to take Sam Bradford if you wanted Sanchez. So there was a clear reason why they brought Bradford into camp or into the organization, and they're going to have him. They're going to roll him out in camp, and they're going to see what he has, and maybe he can get in some preseason games. Not sure what the plan is there, which is something I'm curious about. If they're going to give him any snaps, but I think Bradford's going to be the guy week one, and I think they're going to keep him healthy throughout the preseason so that he can step on that Monday night turf and play the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see the point in putting all that effort into getting Bradford and not using him. I mean, that's like taking a girl out to a really nice dinner, and then at the very end, she's like, "You want to come upstairs? You want to come inside to have a drink?" And you say no, and you just drive home. That's what it is. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. So you gotta, we put so much effort into getting him that we gotta see what he has. We have to see what he has.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Sanchez probably does have a better NFL career if you're looking at wins and losses, getting to those 2 AFC championships.
Exactly.
Do you think that helps him at all?
I don't think that really helps him. I really think that doesn't do anything for you right now. And there's a journalist that went to, my alma mater in Temple, Elliot Shore Parks, on Twitter. I'm coming for you, Elliot. No, I respect him, but he's stirring the pot. He's a smart guy. I respect his journalism skills, and he's talking a lot about Sanchez's resume and how, he's shedding light on some of the realities of Bradford's unknowns, but I mean, I don't think deep down that he really thinks that Sanchez could win the job, just because, like what we were talking about, you put so much effort into bringing Bradford in, and what Sanchez did in 2010 is not going to make up for, or help him in any way in this battle here in 2015. It's a new team. You saw him last year. He was the defense, the team got better and all that, but I think Bradford's got the ability to win big games. Just got a better skill set when you watch him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going by resume, you could argue Tim Tebow has a better resume than Sam Bradford.
Bradford doesn't have much of a resume.
No, so. he doesn't, but the talent is there, and we definitely, he's our guy. He's got to be our guy. I mean, his concern, the biggest concern is his health. Do you think there's anything else?
The unknown, maybe. Just the fact that no one's seen him play. The injury is obviously the biggest thing. Everyone calls him, walking injury, and I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
I want to see him. I'm excited. Everyone else is nervous. I'm excited to see him play and see what he's got. And it's his career that in the balance, not mine. So.
Yeah. I mean, the Rams never, they're like a smaller market, and they never get games, televised. They never were on national TV. Unlike Sanchez,
unless they were playing a better team.
Yeah, where we've seen Sanchez play on the Jets and stuff like that. I mean, we saw the butt fumble a million times because of the not top 10. But we knew what Sanchez was about. Bradford, we don't know. We know that he's a first-round pick and he has bad ACLs. That's all that's what the casual fan knows about Bradford. So it's definitely, I think like you said, the fear of the unknown is probably the biggest issue alongside his health. I mean, I think that's the thing.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go to Chip Dips. Gonna ask Tom some questions here. He has no idea what I'm gonna ask him, so I'm gonna put him on the spot here. What is your stat line for Sam Bradford? Touchdowns, interceptions.
Sheesh. Well, I already said on the Weekly Chirp on the first episode that I did believe he was going to start all 16 games, so I'll stick with the fact that he is going to start all 16 games, and I think there's about 4,500 yards of passing offense to be had by whatever quarterbacks line up. Last year, Nick Foles and Mark Sanchez combined for over the top 10 average passers in terms of yardage. They combined for over, which was around 4,500 yards, and they actually threw for over that. So if those two guys can do it, I think Bradford's an extremely talented guy. So I think he's going to go for around 4,500 yards. I think he can throw in the 30s and touchdowns. Maybe even a little more. If he can get to 40, that would be unreal. He could be an MVP candidate. But I'll say around 32, 33 touchdowns, and doesn't throw many interceptions. So I'm going to say about 13, 14 interceptions.
Okay, so every quarterback they have their guy, like their go-to guy. Who do you see benefiting most from Sam Bradford as quarterback? Who's gonna get the most catches?
It's got to be Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
He loves to control that middle of the field. Bradford, he puts it on a rope. And Ertz has talked about his arm strength, and it seems like those guys are clicking. A lot of the reports out of training camp was that was his guy, and I think Zach Ertz is going to have a monster year with Sam Bradford at the helm.
Yeah, I know we're talking QBs, but Zach Ertz, I feel like he's gonna have a really good year. I feel like he's gonna try to get to that elite level of tight ends. While we're talking quarterbacks, your opinion, the best 3 quarterbacks in Eagles history.
Donovan, got to go with number one Donovan McNabb. It's the guy I grew up watching and grew to love. Hope he can get through what he's going through right now with the DUIs. Jaworski brought us to a Super Bowl. I didn't watch him. I was too young. I wasn't born yet, but I'll put him at 2. And Kevin Cobb, no. I'm going to say Randall Cunningham is the 3rd.
Okay. All right. I totally agree with that order. Now, last question. What is your favorite Eagles game you ever attended? The best game you ever been to? I know you go to a lot, almost all of them, but.
I would have to say, I wish I would have went to that 04 NFC Championship to watch them beat the 04-05 beat the Falcons, but I didn't. I went to the game before that against Minnesota. So that's setting up that going into the year that we win the Super Bowl, that had to be one. But I really loved also Terrell Owens, the return of him from when he was on Dallas. They drive down at the end of the game to take the lead, or maybe tie it up, maybe, I forget, and exactly. And I know Bledsoe threw the interception to Lito Shepherd on the 1-yard line. He returns it. Eagles win, huge win in the season, and that had to be exciting to be in that stadium. I was there, so I know it was exciting. But yeah, we beat T.O., we sent him packing, and it felt great.
Yeah, no, my favorite game is definitely the 04 when they went, the game before the NFC Championship game where they beat the Vikings, and Freddie Mitchell just had like the game of his life. I remember L.J. Smith fumbling on the 2-yard line, and everyone gasping, and then Freddie Mitchell's right there and catches it in the end zone. That was just absolutely wild. Now we're gonna go to social media questions. Chip Shatter. These are questions submitted by you guys, the fans. So first we're gonna turn to Twitter at Dylan Doppler-Mayer. I hope I'm getting this right. He asked, what will our record be? Also, if we make it to the playoffs, who will we be facing and what's the outcome?
Dylan, you got some good questions here. You put me really on the spot. But I appreciate all the questions that we got from social media. We did get a lot. Gonna have to say, it was what would our record be?
Yeah, what will our record be? And will we also, if we make it to the playoffs, who are we facing?
Okay, I'm gonna say 11-5 or 12-4. Not exactly too sure, but I think I'm confident we can improve by a game or two. I think our defense got better, so I think we're gonna improve by at least 1 or 2 games, get us in the playoffs. And I think in the first round,
is that a division? Is that a divisional round, or is it the wild card?
We're going to get a bye. If we go 11-5 or 12, I say, 12-4, I'll say, just for this question, I'll say we go 12-4, we do surprise the world, shock the world, and we go into that divisional game, we get a first round bye week, us and the Seahawks, and we go in that divisional game, and we're going to play, I'm going to say Minnesota. They shock the world, too. They make the wild card, and they win in the first round.
Okay.
Teddy Bridgewater, young quarterback, he's going to come to Philly, and we're going to give him a nice thrashing. Give him a warm Philly welcome. Welcome to the NFL, second-year kid. And I do think they have a great team. They might be a year away, but I'm going to say that they shock everyone with their hustle, and I like how they play. So I'm going to say we play the Vikings in round 1 and we beat them.
All right, I like the prediction. Justin Tribble, his Twitter handle at ChubNation. I like the Twitter handle. Justin asks, who has the best chance to start next to Jenkins at safety?
I say Walter Thurman. I know in the question he mentioned something about Walter Thurman, and he's right. Walter Thurman is the favorite. He had a question about Earl Wolf as well, and I don't think Earl Wolf's really a guy that's even really a favorite to make the team. He might. We don't really thin at safety, but if anyone outplays him, such as Jalen Watkins or anything like that, I think we're definitely in good hands with Walter Thurman as our starting safety, and that's kind of the last line of defense there for our safeties, because we're real thin.
And I think also, you're gonna have to be able to play special teams on this team, because like we talked about, Chip brought in guys to play special teams, so you have to be able to play special teams, and be better. If you're just better, but you can't play special teams worth a lick, you might not be making the team.
Absolutely.
So now we're gonna go to Instagram. At Kendall Beck asks, will Bradford be able to lead us to a Super Bowl? If not, can Sanchez? And if not those two, can anyone else?
I think Bradford, I want to believe that he can. I want to believe Bradford. Sanchez, I don't think so. And I couldn't even tell you if somebody else could, because I don't know who they'd be, and I don't know if Chip Kelly would be here.
Tebow time!
It's going to be an uphill battle, but I think Sam Bradford can, to answer that question for you, Kendall.
Yeah. All right, so last question here on Instagram. Nate Dorley, at N8_Dorley. Will Sam Bradford be able to stay healthy? We talked about this earlier, but...
Again, I'm going to say yes. Nate, you're going to be in for a big surprise. Sam Bradford, all 16 games. That's going to be my prediction. I'm going to stick to it. I hope I hope it comes to fruition, but hopefully that question could be good luck for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got to protect him, and we're gonna be getting the ball out quick. So I mean, that's gonna play to his advantage. There's a good offensive line, and you get the ball out quick. You can't get hurt. They can't touch him.
Exactly.
Theory.
Yep. And that, Jason Peters. I was just writing for my Runner Sports today and doing an article on leaders of the team. I'm ranking the leaders, and that's one thing I talked about in Jason Peters, who ranks as the 5th out of the top 5. He's every bit of the best left tackle in football.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're gonna see him get to protect Bradford, and there's no one else. I said this in my article. There's no one else that you'd want having that responsibility to protect your quarterback's blind side. And Jason Peters, he's great.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, if I ever got in a fight at the club or something like that, Jason
The
Peters, I'd pick
bodyguard.
Jason Peters. He'd be a good bodyguard to have. And that's going to be all for us on this Battle on NovaCare series. Stay tuned, though, for our next installment of this. We're going to be breaking down the linebacking position. A lot of battles there. A lot of new faces. And it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time.